Problem number 54. A child whose weight is 267 Newton slides down a 6.5 meter playground slide that makes an angle of 20 degrees with the horizontal. The coefficient of kinetic friction between the slide and the child is 0.10. First question, how much energy is transferred to thermal energy? That means we have to find the change in thermal energy. Let's see the figure first. A child who is exactly sitting on the top of the playground slide, and she takes the distance of d, which is equal to 6.5 meter when she slides, and this inclined plane is at an angle of 20 degree, and then the child weight is given as 267 Newton. So let's write the given first. What is the weight of the child? The weight of the child is 267 Newton, and the angle of the incline is 20 degree, and the distance she slides is 6.5 meter. Now for finding the thermal energy, we studied the rule, the change in thermal energy, which is equal to Fk multiplied by d. So that means we have to consider the kinetic friction. So you have to see, they clearly mentioned the coefficient of kinetic friction, that is mu k value. They gave the value of mu k, which is 0.10. Now in chapter number 6, we studied the formula for kinetic friction, which is given by the rule Fk, which is equal to mu k Fn multiplied by d, because this is the formula for Fk. Now we have to find what is Fn, so you have to draw the free body diagram. So this is the normal force, right? And this will be the force due to gravity, and this is the weight W cosine theta, and this is the force W sine theta. So this is W, that means weight W, which is equal to mg. Now for Fn, so you can see your Fn, which is equal to W cosine theta. So in place of Fn, so I have to use W cosine theta because this is from free body diagram. So I am going to substitute the value of Fn. So mu k W cosine theta multiplied by d. Now I am going to substitute the value. What is the value of mu k? Which is 0.10, and the value of weight, which is 267 multiplied by cosine of 20 degree, and the distance covered is 6.5 meter. When I multiply all these, I got the answer for the first question, which is a change in thermal energy, which is 163.08 joules. So this is the answer for the first part. Clear? Now we have to come for the second part. So what is given in the second part? If the child starts at the top with a speed of 0.457 meter per second, what is her speed at the bottom? That means the initial speed is given. We have to find what is the final speed. So the child is going to slide in this direction, in the direction of W sine theta. So we have to find what is her final speed. For this, we have to use the rule for the work done formula. So what is the rule we studied? W, which is equal to change in thermal energy plus change in mechanical energy. So because the mechanical energy is the combination of, I can write one more step, change in mechanical energy. So mechanical energy is a combination of potential energy and the kinetic energy. So I have to substitute that formula here. So W, which is equal to change in thermal energy, which we already got in the first part, which is 163.08, plus change in kinetic energy plus change in potential energy. Okay. And now the most important, this is an isolated system. So for the isolated system, we have to consider the work done, which is equal to 0. So that means we have to equate this equation to 0. So in place of W, I have to substitute 0. Why we put 0? Because this is an isolated system. So when you substitute W, which is equal to 0, what you will get? We will get change in thermal energy plus change in kinetic energy plus change in potential energy, which is equal to 0. Clear? Now I'm going to substitute them. So we will substitute this value later, but first of all, we have to substitute the formula for kinetic energy as well as the potential energy. So change in thermal energy plus half m v final square minus v initial square, because change is final potential, final speed minus initial speed. Likewise here we have to write mg h final minus h initial, which is equal to 0. Clear? Now we have to go back to the diagram again. By that we can get something, some terms will be get cancelled. So I told you this is the initial position, because the initial position of the child is here. So this is, let's we take initial point, and when the child comes to the bottom, that is the final, right? So that means at initial point the child will have some height. So that means the height from this point to this point is h initial. Clear? So we have to find this one because we don't know the value. And when the child comes to the final, what is the height? The height is 0. So what will happen? The final height becomes 0. So what will happen? This hf, which is equal to 0. So by that, what will happen? Hf, when you substitute 0, you will get, or I can substitute the value directly here, or because we are going to find the answer for final speed, right? So first we substitute the value. What is the value for the change in thermal energy? In the first part we got the answer 163.08 plus half mass we can find from the weight, because weight which is equal to mass multiplied by gravity, therefore mass of which is equal to weight divided by gravity. The weight of the child is 267 divided by 9.8. We got the mass here as, let's see what is the answer. 267 divided by 9.8. I got the answer as 27.2. 27.24 kilogram. This is the point. Okay, so we need the mass here. So mass, what is the value? Multiply by 27.24. V final we are going to find, and what is the V initial? Because V initial value already they gave here 0.457. So I have to substitute the value 0.457 square plus this, multiply the 0. So we'll get, first part when you multiply with the h is 0, and when you plus into minus, minus mg h initial, which is equal to 0. Clear? Now let's we substitute the value of hi. So how to find the hi? We have to go back to the diagram. We have to apply the sine theta. What is the formula for sine theta? Sine theta, which is nothing but opposite side divided by hypotenuse, right? So what is your opposite side here? The opposite side is h. Therefore sine theta, which is equal to opposite side, is hi. And what is your hypotenuse? Your hypotenuse is d. So therefore hi, which is equal to d sine theta. So in place of hi, we have to substitute this in this equation. So I have to take this equation, I have to substitute here. So 163.08 plus half (27.24) divided by 2, we got 13.62. That means here when you multiply this one, 13.62 V final square. So I have to multiply this here, minus 1 multiply 27.24 multiplied with 0.457 square divided by 2, I got the answer 2.84. So here I'm going to 2.84. What I did, because here I multiply the final speed and then I separate the term final minus initial. So this is your final speed, this is your initial speed, but initial speed we already have the value. So I simply multiply this term with VF. I simply multiply this term with this 0.4. So that's the reason I write two values. And then we have to substitute the value here, the mass, which is, what is the mass? 27.24, 27.24 multiplied by 9.8. And what is our HI? Your HI value just before we found, which is d sine theta, right? So d sine theta. So what is the value of d? The d already they gave in the question, 6.5 multiplied by sine of the inclined angle is 20 degree, which is equal to 0. Clear? So now I am going to simplify all these. 163.08 plus 13.62 V final square minus 2.84. Now I am going to find the answer for this. So 27.24 multiply with 9.8 multiply with 6.5 multiply with sine of 20 degree. So what answer I got? I got the answer here as 593. 593 point 27.24 multiply 9.8 multiply by 6.5 multiply sine of 90. So we got 593.4, 593.47, which is equal to 0. Now I have to simplify one more time, because this number we can simplify this one. So 163.08 minus 2.84 minus 593.47, we got minus 433.23. So 13.62 Vf square minus 433.23, which is equal to 0. I have to bring this term to the right hand side. When you bring this term to the right hand side, it will be positive. So 13.62 Vf square, which is equal to 433.23. Therefore, V final square, which is equal to 433.23 divided by 13.62. When you divide this number by 13.62, we got the answer as 31.81. So Vf square we got as 31.81. Therefore, Vf, which is nothing but square root of this number, right? So square root of 31.81, I got 5.64 meter per second. So this is the answer for part B. So that means when the child comes to the bottom of the slide, what is her speed? Her speed is 5.64. So the most important thing in this question, when you are just simplify this part, you should be very careful. If you did any mistake here, then your final answer will be wrong. Clear? So this is the answer for this question. That's it. Thank you.